Hello, nice to meet you. Has something that happened to you when you were 10 changed your worldview? If yes, we are going to learn such a story, The Flowers by Alice Walker. It's the story of a 10-year-old girl. And let's see what happened to her. And I would like to introduce myself. I'm Pradeep Hariharan. I'm an assistant professor of English. I welcome you to my class. Thank you for being here. The goal of this video is to help you get the high marks for your exam. That is the only one goal with which I work. Since you're watching this, I promise you 4 things. One is quality. I provide you with the best quality available. Secondly is focus. I'll teach you from the examination point of view so quickly that you can score high marks. Third is clarity. I'll try to simplify everything possible so that you will get a understanding at single watching and you can go and write the exam. And finally, expect a transformation. That is, by learning and understanding in English, you will be able to write it well. Are you ready? Let's jump in. So today we are going to discuss this one, the short story, The Flowers by Alice Walker. And it is a 5-step structure that I follow. The first one, I'll give you an introduction to this basic thing we'll discuss. Secondly, we will theme. Why I'm giving you this is because if you don't have much time, if you have just 3 minutes and you're watching this just before your exam, if you write the introduction and theme, you'll get half marks. Okay, then I'll give you the summary. Then we'll go to symbols and motifs and questions. The questions are structured in the manner that is, whenever I teach you, the important questions will come on the screen with the answer. Answer in the sense with the points. So you can pause and take down. By the end, you would have learned everything. So let's jump in and see what happens. Flowers by Alice Walker. The story was it was published in 1973 in the short story collection In Love and Trouble, Stories of Black Women. So as Alice Walker, she's an important American writer, Afro-American writer, and she's known for her first work, The Color Purple, which she won the Pulitzer Prize, which is the highest literary prize in the US. And this particular short story comes under the category of flash fiction. Sometimes they may ask you, what is flash fiction? Flash fiction is a short story which has a word limit from 500 to 1000. This short story has exactly 565 words. It is so short, and it's something new. If they ask you, you have to write the meaning of flash fiction and how number of words that used in this short story. Then what is it? What is The Flowers is all about? In a single word summary, I can give you, in a single sentence summary, I can give you is that it's a story of a 10-year-old Afro-American girl whose innocence is spoiled when she was 10 at the discovery of something. I'm sure something like that might have happened to you. It happens to all of us. When we are innocent, we believed in something. Suddenly, all of our beliefs are shattered and we get into the world of experience. So that is what the story tells. And what is the setting? Every story has a setting. This story is set in America, in the deep south of America, where slavery was the not in fashion, practiced. Slavery was practiced. And even after the slavery laws were abolished, it was very usual that the Africans used to get killed in the sense of lynching. That's the word I want to use, lynching. You have to look at in the dictionary. The Malayalam is Alkuta Kolabadagangal. So this is a story of how this girl discovers the body of such a man and what kind of a transformation that happens to her. So I have already discussed about Alice Walker. That is enough from the examination point of view. What are the themes? Actually, the story has 3 important themes, but we will only focus with the first theme because the story comes under the text Voice of Women. It deals with innocence and experience. Innocence and experience is a very common theme in literature. Even if you look at the Bible, the tree of knowledge is experience, and Adam and Eve, they were innocent. So through an experience, what happens? Their innocence is lost. They commit a sin. Similarly, here a 10-year girl's innocence is what you may call is lost just because of an experience that happens to her. And there are 2 other sub-themes that they are the discrimination against Afro-Americans, which you have to write for the exam, but this is since it comes under voice of women, we focus more into that issue. And trauma, as I told you, this girl walks into a dead body. So ultimately, that must have given her, not only her, for anyone, a kind of a trauma, walking onto a dead man's face. So these are the three themes. And what is the summary? This is a story of myop. The first question they will ask you is, what is the significance of the word myop? Myop is a word taken from the Greek word myopia, which means nearsightedness. That means the nearsightedness. The only you can see the things near you. You don't have farsightedness. That means this is a 10-year-old girl. She's in a world of fantasy and fancy. So those girls do not know what happens around the world. So ultimately, their focus is around them, around their houses. Just like us, we have all experienced this, and we know how innocent we were when we were just 10. And what happens? One fine day morning, this girl gets up and she feels that is the best day in her life, because it's a harvest season. The breeze is filled with the what do we call, the smells of harvest, corns, wheat. So she feels very happy, and she has got some hens and pigs. So she has a stick. She walks around just by what I may call touching the hens that she likes, which all of us have done. And on that day, she decided to take a journey of her own. Generally, she goes with her mother. It is written that on that day, she decided to take her own journey. So she walks far away from from her home for some, what you may call, 1 mile. So around 12 o'clock, she decides to return with her some flowers and other things, just like, the kids will, when they go, pick it up and bring back. Then the incident happens. See, she accidentally walks into the face of a dead man. And actually her heel gets struck between his eyebrows and nose ridge. But this girl doesn't get panic. She doesn't make any, what you may call, a cry. If I were her, I would have made a lot of huge cry. But this girl is not like that. She removes her heel, so that shows her character. She's very strong, though she's just 10 years old. Then the naked eye is staring at her when she removes the heel. That only gives her a sort of panic. But surprisingly, she looks around. She observes what happens. She removes the debris. And she finds that this man had white teeth, but all of them were chopped. All of them were broken. And he was a tall man, she says, because he occupies a lot of space. But it's not a recent death. This man has died some time before, because all his dress are rotten, and the copper buttons has turned into a green color. But she's still not panicked. She looks around and she spots a wild pink rose on the head, around the head, which is grown, a rose plant, and she plucks the rose, okay, because she collects it. Suddenly, she notices something. There is a noose around this man's neck. Then she looks closely and finds a piece of rope, and there is an oak tree next to her. She looks at and finds the other one hanging. Then she realizes that this man was brutally lynched by a group of people and left there without any proper burial. So when the story ends, she leaves the flowers to this man as a sign of, what you may call, she leaves it as a sign of respect. Then the story ends saying that her summer was over. By that means, the author means, so far she was innocent, but when she realizes the kind of trauma he has undergone, she gives the flowers to this dead person as a sign of respect, as a sign of honor, and she decided to retreat. So that is the summary of this short story. Then what are the themes? This question is asked, this question will be asked, themes and motifs. The symbols and motifs, symbols, there are 4 symbols used. The first one is flowers, the title itself. Flowers generally in Alice Walker's story stand for women. But because Alice Walker felt that women, they are the most beautiful thing in the ugly face of the world. It's true. And secondly, the innocence of myop. In this story, flowers stands for innocence of myop. There are different colors of flowers described in the story. So ultimately, what happens while giving these flowers, we understand that her innocence has gone. Now she enters into the world of experience. She realizes the racial discrimination, and as a black Afro-American girl, she understands what awaits her. And the second one is the wood, a big oak tree next to. Tree is always symbolic in literature, as I told you, the tree of knowledge in the Bible. And here it represents the world. The world is both violent and beautiful. So that is another symbol is used. And the ending of the story, the end of summer. End of summer, as I told you, at that moment she starts from the world of what you may call innocence to experience. And finally, the pink rose. That is actually, if you look at the location of the pink rose, it is very close to the skull of this man. So Alice Walker wanted to tell us that even good things can come out of bad things, that is violence. So, and in other words, she says violence is not the end of the world. Okay, actually violence can only bring violence, so you have to remain peaceful. So that is the another one. And so this is the short summary. I hope I give you what you may call the basics of the story, the capsule of the story in a very short span of time. Thank you for watching, and keep watching. I'll come up with more videos. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.